The siege of Valencia from 3 November 1811 to 9 January 1812, saw Marshal Louis Gabriel Suchet's French army of Aragon besiege Captain General Joaquin Blake Waujoy's forces in the city of Valencia, Spain during the Peninsular War. The 20,000 to 30,000 French troops compelled 16,000 Spanish soldiers to surrender at the conclusion of the siege. Although another 7,000 Spaniards escaped from the trap, Suchet quickly converted Valencia into an important base of operations after this Napoleonic Wars action. Valencia, modern-day capital of the Valencian community, is located on the east coast of Spain. Background: on July 8, 1811, Marshal Suchet received his baton, making him the only French general to be appointed Marshal of France for winning victories in Spain. He won this honor specifically for his victory in the Siege of Tarragona. The port of Tarragona fell to the French on 29 June 1811 as a British naval squadron stood helplessly offshore. Suchet pressed the siege ruthlessly and lost 4,300 troops during the operation, but Spanish losses were far heavier. The loss of the port involved most of the army of Catalonia and therefore left Spanish forces in the area gravely weakened. Emperor Napoleon I of France ordered his newly minted marshal to capture Valencia. During the summer and fall of 1811, Suchet seized Montserrat, triumphed over Captain General Blake at Benaguasil, and captured the port of Oropesa del Mayo. On 15 September, 25,000 French invaded Valencia and once again defeated Blake at the Battle of Sagunta on 26 October, where Suchet sustained a severe wound in his shoulder. Reinforced by 2 additional divisions, the French relentlessly advanced. Siege: Suchet commanded 20,595 men in 5 infantry divisions under generals of division Louis-François Félix Musnier, Jean-Isidore Harrispert, Pierre-Joseph Habert, Giuseppe Federico Palombini, and Claude-Antoine Compere, plus cavalry and artillerists. Musnier's 1st Division consisted of the 114th and 121st Line Infantry Regiments, 3 battalions each, and the 1st and 2nd Infantry Regiments of the Legion of the Vistula, 2 battalions each. Harris's 2nd Division included the following infantry regiments: 7th Line, 4 battalions, 44th Line and 3rd Vistula Legion, 2 battalions each, and 116th Line, 3 battalions. Habert's 3rd Division comprised the 16th and 117th Line Infantry Regiments, 3 battalions each, and the 15th Line Infantry Regiment, 2 battalions. Palombini's Kingdom of Italy Division had the 2nd Light and 4th and 6th Line Infantry Regiments, 3 battalions each, and the 5th Line Infantry Regiment, 2 battalions. Compere's weak Kingdom of Naples Division consisted of the 1st Light and the 1st and 2nd Line Infantry Regiments, 1 battalion each. General of Brigade André-Joseph Boussart led Suchet's cavalry, including the 13th Cuirassier, 4th Hussar, and Italian Napoleon Dragoon regiments. 4 squadrons each, 24th Dragoon Regiment, 2 squadrons, and Neapolitan Chasseurs à Cheval, 1 squadron. One authority asserts that Suchet had 30,000 men and adds General of Division Honoré Charles Riel's infantry division to the French order of battle. Another source gives Suchet 33,000 and the divisions of both Ray and General of Division Philippe Eustache-Louis severely. Blake disposed of 28,044 soldiers for the defense of Valencia, organized in 3 groups: the Expeditionary Corps, the 2nd Valencian Army, and the 3rd Mercian Army. The Expeditionary Corps included the infantry divisions of Generals Miguel Ledizabal y Uribe and José Pascual de Zayas y Chacon plus General Casimiro Loy's cavalry and 2 horse artillery batteries. A total of 6,041 men. The 2nd Army consisted of the infantry divisions of Generals Miranda, José Obispo, Villacampa, and Velasco, plus General Sanjuan's cavalry. The Second Army mustered 16,468 men, 2-foot and 1-horse artillery batteries, counting 5,535 troops. The Third Army had the brigades of Generals Cray and Montijo plus 8 squadrons of cavalry and 1-horse artillery battery. Blake deployed his army facing generally north with his right wing on the coast, his right center in Valencia, his left center at Mislata, and his left at Menezes. The divisions of Obispo and Villacampa, which had performed poorly at the Battle of Sagunta, held the left flank. To their right stood Crafe's brigade. Next in line were the good quality divisions of Ladizabal and Zayas. Miranda's division occupied Valencia while some irregulars held the gap between the city and the coast. Blake posted his cavalry at Aldea and Torrent, behind his left flank. Though the line as far as Menezes was fortified and protected by canals and ditches, the left flank hung in the air. Suchet discerned that Blake's left flank was the weak point and determined to envelop it. He planned to take the divisions of Harrisper, Musnia, Rey, and Bissart in a wide sweep around the open Spanish flank. Suchet directed Habet to break through along the coast, while Palumbini attacked Mislata and Compare observed the Spanish lines. If all went well, Suchet might bag Blake's entire army. On the night of the 25th of December, Suchet led his main column across the Rio Turia at Riba-Roja de Turia. At first, Habet's attack on his right flank fueled Blake into thinking it was Suchet's main effort. Then Palumbini's attack at Mislata diverted his attention. Despite persistent assaults, the Italians failed to break through and suffered heavy losses. Suchet's main column reached Blake's left rear virtually unopposed. As Harrisper approached the village of Aldea, he sighted the Spanish cavalry reserve. With a single squadron of the 4th Hussars, Bissart rashly attacked a vastly superior force. The handful of French horsemen were wiped out, while Bissart was cut down and left for dead, his sword and decorations pilfered. The bulk of the French cavalry under General of Brigade Jacques-Antoine Adrien de Lort soon came up and routed the Spanish troopers, driving them beyond the Rio Duca and depriving Blake of much-needed cavalry support. General Nicolas de Meiji, in overall command of the left flank, realized that his troops were in danger of being encircled. He ordered an immediate retreat and the divisions of Obispo and Villacampa, as well as Crafe's brigade, made their escape to the south. Blake ordered Ladizabal and Zayas to retire within Valencia. The veteran units cleanly disengaged but were doomed to be trapped in the city. Suchet rapidly ringed the city with his army. With a population of 100,000, a lack of food, and obsolete defences, Valencia was in no condition to sustain a siege. On the night of the 28th of December, Blake tried to break out of the city. The attempt failed except for a spearhead of 500 troops which got away. Suchet wasted little time, digging the first siege parallels on the 1st of January and taking the outer defences under fire 3 days later. As the bombardment intensified, Blake capitulated and handed over Valencia on the 9th of January. Results: for the loss of about 2,000 killed and wounded, Suchet succeeded in capturing 16,270 Spanish soldiers, 21 colors, and 374 guns. In addition, 4,011 Spanish troops died in battle or from disease. All of Blake's cavalry, plus the units of Obispo, Villacampa, and Cray avoided capture, but his best troops became prisoners. Blake performed poorly throughout the siege and the citizens of Valencia despised him for his feeble efforts. The French held the Spanish general in prison near Paris until 1814. Suchet levied an indemnity on the surrendered city of 53 million francs. Bissart received a promotion to general of division but eventually died from his many battle injuries in August 1813. Suchet continued to advance to the south, capturing the port of Dania. However, with Napoleon transferring troops from Spain to support his upcoming invasion of Russia, operations soon ground to a halt due to a lack of soldiers. Suchet also fell seriously ill with a fever and was out of action for weeks. This allowed the remnants of Blake's army under Mehy to recover. In the meantime, Napoleon ennobled his victorious marshal with the title Duke of Albufera, after the name of a lagoon south of Valencia. Far to the north, General Joaquin Ibanez Cuevas Wide of Valonga, Barandiarolles ambushed a French battalion at a place on the coast southwest of Tarragona called Col de Balaga. On the 18th of January, 4,000 Spanish troops, including 250 cavalry and 2 cannons, captured one battalion of the 121st Line Infantry Regiment. Out of about 850 troops, only the governor of the fortress of Tortosa, General of Brigade Jacques Mataran Lafosse, and 22 dragoons escaped the trap. General of Division Maurice Mathieu exacted revenge on Arolles less than a week later. In heavy fog, Arolles engaged what he thought was an enemy battalion on the 24th of January in the Battle of Altafulla. In fact, it was Mathieu's 8,000-strong division of 6 French and 2 German battalions. At the cost of a few casualties, the French crushed the outnumbered Spanish force, inflicting a loss of 2,000 killed, wounded, and captured, as well as taking both cannons. On the 20th of January, severely laid siege to Peniscola with his division of 3,000 men and 6 guns. The port, between Valencia and Tarragona, was known as Little Gibraltar, because it seemed virtually impregnable. The Spanish commander General Garcia Navarro, however, was pro-French and quickly came to terms with Severely, handing over the castle on the 2nd of February and surrendering his 1,000 troops. Arthur Wellesley, 1st Duke of Wellington's crushing defeat of Marshal Auguste Marmont at the Battle of Salamanca on the 22nd of July 1812 caused King Joseph Bonaparte to abandon Madrid on the 11th of August. Because Suchet had a secure base at Valencia, Joseph and Marshal Jean-Baptiste Jourdan retreated there and were joined by Marshal Suchet and Nicolas Soult. Together, Joseph and the 3 marshals worked out a plan to recapture Madrid and drive Wellington from central Spain. Their subsequent counter-offensive caused the British general to lift the siege of Burgos and retreat to Portugal in the autumn of 1812.